Best of Highland Noise podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy fucking Tuesday.
It's also midday.
Happy 2 p.m.
Yeah. We keep saying we're so back, but little rocking in the schedule here, but that's okay. A little rocking and rolling. We respect the rock and roll around here. And then Gloria and I were going to shoot this at 10 a.m. this morning, and I texted her at 8 a.m. Half asleep after ignoring 4 alarms at that point, being like, what if we do this later in the day? And she was like, that's the best idea I've ever heard. And I said good night, and she's like, genuinely, I'm going back to bed.
I went back to bed. I woke up at 10 o'clock, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
That's great. So yeah, we got so much to talk about. I went to so many shows over the course of the last week. Yap session begins now.
All right.
Strap in, Glory. Wednesday, I went to Summer Aloud, the touring festival that is now since concluded. New Jersey was on the very tail end of the festival, but it was Beartooth, I Prevail, Killswitch Engage, Parkway Drive, the Amity Affliction, the Devil Wears Prada, Alpha Wolf, and Dark Divine. That was the bill. And what a show, man. I have wanted a Sad Summer-esque, fully hard rock and metal festival since I started going to shows. The closest I got to that was Rockstar Disrupt Fest back in 2019. But I was a wee little lad, and not all the bands on there were heavy. Thrice is on there, which is a rock band, but they are not heavy. They played right before The Used. The story so far is a pop punk band. They had Juliet Sims, who's Lilith Czar, back when she was still, doing that project. The Hyro the Hero, who's like rap rock. It was all over.
There's a lot going on there.
They had Memphis Mayfire and Sleeping with Sirens and 4 Years Strong and The Used to round out the heavier side of things. But that festival was a little bit more eclectic, although I've wanted an experience like that. Since going to that, and I've obviously been to all the Sad Summers except the one last year. I always enjoy that experience, but for the genre of music that I mainly listen to, there was nothing like that except destination festivals that I don't care to go to spend all that money to see all these bands I've already seen before. So I honestly, I had the best fucking time at this festival because it's all bands that I either listen to on the regular or have seen live and are like, they're good. Don't listen to them all the time, but would see them again kind of thing. And they just so happen to be there. So I'm getting to see like every single band on the bill I had seen at least twice. That's just maybe the Amity Affliction's the only band I had seen once, and that was the second time. And Parkway Drive, you're right. Yeah, Parkway Drive was also the second time. So okay, fine. Every band I've seen at least once. That was on the bill. I thought it was twice, but I looked at my last FM stats after I said I had attended all the sets, so that makes sense. Yeah, I'd seen all the bands at least once, and it was such a great time. Just getting to see all these bands that I listened to in various capacities, ranging from in passing to being a pretty big fan of. Dark Divine was great. It was super cool to see them on a stage that big. They've been crushing it, and the new singles have been sounding really, really good. Alpha Wolf was fucking phenomenal. They absolutely crushed that stage. One of the best bands ever in the entire world. Gloria asked me how it was, and I was like, yeah, it was good. She was like, you're saying that about one of the best bands ever, by the way. Maybe rethink that before I kick your fucking ass. The Devil Wears Prada always leaves it all on the stage. They were just phenomenal. They picked a little bit of a lighter set for their discography, but it was incredible. They also teased that they have an upcoming record that these singles that they've been putting out are off the back of. The Amity Affliction sounded phenomenal. Honestly, Joel has injured his foot at some point during the festival, and I had to play some shows sitting down, but now he's in a boot. And like, they didn't move around much, but they sounded so fucking tight. They honestly wound up being one of my favorite bands of the night, and they're one of those bands that I don't listen to a ton, although obviously respect them and know their name and have listened to them and all that shit, know the big songs, yada yada yada. but they absolutely rocked. You know, and total one leg up from the last time I saw them. Last time I saw them was co-headlining with Silverstein, and that was just a really weird show. Both bands had really weird sets. It was a really weird crowd because there's not a ton of overlap there. That was just a really weird tour combination of bands to go co-headline together. So yeah, that was a great time. Parkway Drive brought over their, at least closer to their full-scale production that they do overseas, which just is a shitload of fire and also a spinning drum kit. Like, they put the drum kit on a wheel and it spins. For the last song, the entire stage just erupts into flames and the drum riser spins. They were the best band of the night. Hands down.
With a spinning drum.
And the sheer amount of fire that was on that stage. And Winston and gang, they put on such a performance. I know that's the most recent record left a little bit to be desired and had people questioning if the band really still had it. But the newest single is a return to form in a modern sense. And I'm hoping that continues along with whatever that single is going to lead into, because they definitely still bring it live. It was better than the last time I saw them. Although they were incredible then, I saw them off the back of that most recent record in support of that. But they, you know, leg up again with the production and the pyro and the spinning drum and all that shit. And there was just so much energy on that stage. Easily the best band of the night. Killswitch Engage was great. Honestly, a bit of a wild card in the lineup, just because I don't really put them with the rest of all the other bands. I kind of lump in the metalcore bubble. I don't necessarily put Killswitch Engage there, although they absolutely deserve to be on that stage. They've been doing it for 25 years and exist in the scene, but their subgenre of metal is maybe a little bit different than the crazy chorus breakdown that every other band on the stage had. But they were great. Sounded awesome. Got to hear some songs off the new record, which was much appreciated because I really dug that album. And they were fucking phenomenal. I Prevail was my biggest could suck, totally suck, because I've read some things online now with Brian not being in the band that, you know, it doesn't sound the same and it doesn't feel the same and yada yada yada. And honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. I've seen them with Brian a couple of times, and now Brian is no longer in the band, and I didn't know what to expect, and they absolutely ripped it. The new songs sound great. Obviously, they're morphed to be, for this new lineup, but they're playing so much of their old stuff as well, and it sounded pretty goddamn good. I know they've done a bunch of sets without Brian, even when he was in the band, because he would have various different health issues and reasons why he couldn't be there. So Gabe, who's picking up the vocal responsibilities now, has been doing it. It's not like it's his first tour doing it. But yeah, I thought it sounded really good. I had a great time. I enjoy their previous records, so that the songs sounding somewhat close to what it sounds like with the previous lineup is enough for me. And then Beartooth closed the night off. Potentially my biggest disappointment, just because the set was a little bit more tailored to the newer sound, whereas when I see them headline, they've been leaning into that newer sound, obviously, and that's fine, that's working for them, but there would be plenty of the old stuff to kind of fill in the gaps, and they got 50 minutes to win people over that may or may not know them, so they're obviously going to go for the stuff that's working for them right now, and that's fine. They played a couple of songs that I like, but they had My Love Myself, I Was Alive, Attention, back to back to back, and I was like, this could put me to sleep right now, because I really don't care for those songs. But Caleb Shomo, as always, a fucking phenomenal frontman, and the performance itself was great. It was the set list for me, but overall a phenomenal experience. I'm hoping that Summer of Loud makes its way into a second season next summer, because I had the best time, and that'll be my thing every year. I will absolutely have to be there. lineup aside, it was phenomenal. What a fun time. Thursday night I saw Rachel Ana Dobken. She opened for Age of Madness. I did not get to catch Age of Madness, had management duties to take care of, but Rachel sounded phenomenal. She got to play with her band, her full band, and about 35 minutes up there ripping and rocking. Sounded great. Crowd was into her. I was on tripod duty recording the set, so that was, I was locked the fuck in. Sounded great. Saturday I saw We Came as Romans, Currents, After the Burial, and Johnny Booth. And what a goddamn show that was. Johnny Booth, I did not quite know what to expect. I've heard the name. I really haven't listened to them going into it. Complete chaos on stage, and I appreciate that. They had me locked in on that stage for 30 minutes. That's for goddamn sure. A shoe went flying at one point off of one of the members. They kicked their foot so high and their shoe just went phew.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that was great. And then Currents came up, and I haven't seen Currents in a couple of years. They played the new song. I had the best time. I'm not one to go splurge at the merch table after a band plays, but I needed a Currents hoodie for myself, and I needed the tour shirt. So
oh wow,
I went all the way. And they're such a great band. Top 5 band for me easily. After the Burial, was great as always. My third time seeing them. They ripped their new song as well. They're always very, very solid. A very solid and tight live band, which I appreciate. And then We Came as Romans. They were the headliners of the night, touring in support of their upcoming record that drops in a few weeks. They played some cuts off of that new album that aren't out yet. Sounds fucking fantastic. I'm very excited for this new record. They played a bunch of the new singles as well. Little weird to have a handful of songs in the set that no one knows off a record that isn't out yet. I wish that the tour maybe would have been a little bit later if the album was going to be August. But hey man, it was a good time nonetheless. I haven't seen them in a minute, so yeah, they absolutely crushed it. They're such a captivating live band. So it was good times. And then Sunday night I saw Phantom Planet and Range Life. I've been in the room a couple of times for Phantom Planet shows, but this was my first time really sitting down and watching them. The first time it was at Adjacent Fest, and I caught about a half a song just to say that I saw them. The second time was in Jersey City. I sat in the green room for most of the set. I would pop out on occasion, but they played a very long time at that show. It just kept going. So I sat in the green room for a good chunk of it, and then this time around I was like, fuck it, I guess I'll watch. Range Life, great as always. Good friends with all of those guys. They sounded great. Lots of people there for them, which was fun. And then Phantom Planet, they were phenomenal. Great band, great live band, and glad I finally get to say I really saw Phantom Planet, and not just I was in the room and they were the background noise while I was giggling in the green room. So yeah, overall, crazy weekend. But I got a handful of days off before my back-to-back Offspring, Jimmy World, Newfound Glory, and Linkin Park Paris weekend that I have coming up. And then after that is Summer School Tour, My Chem, Jonas Brothers. Boy band August is in full swing.
For real, goddamn.
Yeah.
Solid.
So yeah, that's my life. That's my life in a nutshell. We got a couple of records to chat about and a shitload of singles, because we're in that weird time where there's not a ton of albums, but everybody's dropping singles for their albums coming out in the fall. So we get nice taster palettes that we get to listen to an hour and a half's worth. Yeah. Kicking it off, the Dirty Nil dropped their new album, The Lash. We had Luke from the Dirty Nil on the podcast. This is now the third record in a row where we have sat down and chatted with Luke. And this is my favorite conversation that we've gotten to have with him, because I could tell how excited he was to talk about the music. And I even said that in the interview, because they literally made a post on Instagram that was like, if you have a podcast, we want to chat about this record, we're very excited about it. So it's like, I didn't make that up. It was right in front of me, and I read it right before we hopped in. But he was just very excited to talk about it. It made me excited for the album, to listen to it again, because we had obviously heard it going into the interview, but to listen to it again, and I can hear that excitement come through this record. Like, it's just, you can tell they're having a shitload of fun making this album, and that makes me have fun listening to it, because now that I know that they were that they had a great time, and Luke said that this is his favorite album that he's gotten to work on, and all of these things. Now, knowing all that and hearing it, I'm like, damn, this record is such a fun album to listen to, and I really enjoy it. It's such a solid, punk record. It doesn't overstay its welcome. The songs are all very short and compact and quick, and they say what they got to say, and they get out as quick as possible. And I really appreciate that, because it keeps the record moving. There's no moments on here where I'm like, holy fuck, this thing is dragging on. It just, like I said, it gets in, gets out. Opening up with Gallop of the Hounds is a great opener, and one of the longest songs on the record. A lot of these clock in at 2 minutes ish, and that one clocks in at 3:30. Fail in Time, is a great 1-2 punch. I really like Rock and Roll Band and Do You Want Me. Those are both on the shorter side, and the literal definition and kind of getting to the point. Do You Want Me is kind of just repeating that phrase, and it's still dope as shit. I'm not one to really enjoy songs like that, but though that song's dope as shit. And then I Was a Henchman to tie things together and close the record off, is a phenomenal closer, and really seals the deal on this. But like I said, it's just a fun punk record that you can tell they had a shitload of fun making, and that makes it fun for me.
This record is such like a rock and roll record. I think it's awesome. The second half, the B-side, was definitely my personal favorite. They Won't Beat Us, Hero Narrative, and I Was a Henchman are my personal favorites off the record. Those are the last three. I think the record is definitely, as I said, it's just rock and roll. I don't know how else to describe it. There are definitely some punkier tracks, but I think it's an evolution. It's a maturing stepping stone record compared to the first time we spoke to Luke, which was Fuck Art, the little doggy on the front. Hell yeah. Just thinking of that record, and it could also just be my brain telling me this song was way different just because of the cover arts. But it's also, I think after, I really enjoyed Fuck Art. I thought that record was incredible. Doom Boy, which I think was one of their biggest tracks off the record, was like my top song from that year. I could still sing it word for word, bar for bar, because I listened to it so much back then. But the direction of this record seems just a bit grittier. It seems not as like polished and not as like refined and clean cut. It's, as I said, it just feels grittier, and I fucking love that for them. I think this fits their brand and their look so much that I'm very happy with how this record turned out. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, and ditto on the grit, because like, Luke mentioned there was no big fancy studio this time around. They did that with the last record. They went to that big fancy studio, got the sound that they wanted to get, different guitars on every single track, different amps and all that shit, miking it up in different ways. This time around, they just went to the producer that they do their demos with back home to record this full record, which kind of gives like that DIY grit element to the songs, which again just kind of adds to the fun element for me, because it still sounds phenomenal. The producer did a phenomenal job, but yeah, it just adds to that, that grit and like that punk energy that I'm getting from the album. Highly recommend this. They're touring a shitload across all sorts of different continents. So just
they're about to kick off their Canadian tour with Heart Attack Man.
Yeah, so just peep the dates. I'm sure they're coming to a city near you, because this band has been touring nonstop. We shot the interview in April because they've just been touring since pretty much since then.
Yeah, it's awesome. Hell yeah. Michael Clifford dropped his new album Side Quest. I have a lot to say about this record that can be summarized in less than the amount of words that I want to use. So I was hopeful because all the other boys from 5 Seconds of Summer, yes, I'm sorry to all the fans who want me to just look at Michael as his own. He's part of 5 Seconds of Summer. I did this shit with One Direction. I'm gonna do it with 5 Seconds of Summer. Luke made fucking indie pop. Fucking all of Callum made indie pop. Ashton made indie pop, but it was more poppier. It was like a lot more dancey. It was kind of it was weird. I'm gonna say it was fucking weird.
Still not great.
All of the guys went towards indie pop, and that made me go, "Oh no, Michael, don't do that." He signed with Hopeless, and I was very hopeful because I was like, "Oh shit, he is the one who's kind of always been more like rock and roll." I mean, they were all in a pop punk band. 5 Seconds of Summer was pop punk for like the first half of the band, and then they came back to it and did more rock, but pop rock with calm, and then they went to fucking indie pop.
Yeah.
So I was very
It's clear
excited.
what 3 members made that decision.
Exactly. It was clear he was outvoted this time around. So going into this record, I mean, with the singles alone, the first single with Water Parks, Give Me a Break, I was already disappointed because it was not at all. Firstly, it's fucking Water Parks. I love Water Parks. As you could clearly see behind me, I enjoy the band, you know, a normal amount, right? Haven't seen them live once, but I enjoy them. I love them. I've seen fucking 5 Seconds of Summer more than I've seen Water Parks. Can you imagine? Anyways, so I go into this record and all hope is lost because all the singles that he's dropped, I've not been the biggest fan of. The one with Porter Robinson, I thought was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a step up.
And it was all front loaded with the singles, by the way. Kill Me, For Always, Cool, Give Me a Break.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting there. So listening through this record, it's, as you said, it was all the singles in the front. So already my expectations are on the floor because it's just like, yeah, I remember I didn't like these. I remember, Michael, you know, you could have spaced it out a little bit, so maybe it would have given it a different chance, but because my brain is already in you did not like these singles, this record's gonna fucking suck because that's half the record. It didn't get better. It didn't. The singles were the highlight of the record, which is such a disappointment. Except the closer, Eclipse. I thought Eclipse was pretty. I'll give it to him. But the record is like not pop punk at all. For being on a pop punk label, this shit is like, it's like he took all the slow tracks from every pop punk record and made it into an album. You know? It was like, there was no like, it just felt like all slow songs. It just felt like all of the slow songs that would be in like smack dab in the middle of a record on like the craziest pop punk record ever. But the song that like everyone skips. Sorry, I said it. It's the song off every pop punk record that everyone skips because everyone's like, damn, this kind of kills the vibe a bit. This record's a vibe killer. And it killed my vibe. And this was the last album on the playlist, and I was lost and alone once this finished. So I was like, fuck, I don't have anything to bring this back up. Michael was one of my favorites. You know, it was Callum or Michael for favorites in the band. Ashton, never Luke girl. I thought it was cool though. But it was like those 3, I kind of, you know, like jumped back and forth. One by one, they all fell. They all disappointed me. Solo music. Michael, I thought you were going to hold it out. I thought you were my boy. You're not. This sucked. I'm sorry. Shout out Water Parks though.
Well, you know, I had decently high expectations going into this record. I wasn't a massive fan of the singles, but you know, I thought that the overall marketing and image for the record was what I expected when Michael Clifford said that he was going to do a solo record. When this started rolling out, the marketing and everything is what I expected. A little bit like that pop punk angst kind of thing, because he's always had that. Even when the band cleaned themselves up and did the indie pop thing, he always was the dirty looking one of the group. Yeah, the dirty grungy looking one of the group. He missed
a couple showers, and we loved him for it.
And maybe he did, but like, you know, dirty and grimy and but not in like a visual way, just the way he dressed and things like that, not as clean cut as the rest of the band.
Jesus, dirty, a little smelly, you know.
Oh, I didn't get that close, but you know. So like the marketing and all of that and the imagery around the record had me thinking that this was going to lean the right way. And did it go that way? No, but it's also the closest that that any of these band members have gotten to what I kind of expected a side project from any of the band members of 5 Seconds to Summer to create, because this is the most alt leaning thing that we've gotten from the 4 members that started out in a pop punk band, went back to doing pop punk and rock, and then decided to make one indie pop record, and then
their goodbye record.
Then dissipate.
Like, no, we're gonna leave you with this.
We're gonna leave you with this stinker, and then we're all 3 of us. We're gonna do that separately.
Everything that everyone hated.
Yeah,
we're all gonna do that separately. Yeah, because you guys want more.
Each at least once. So thanks for that.
Luke did it twice. He has 2 albums out of stinkers. Jesus, dude.
The Waterpark song is growing on me slowly, although it's not the song I go out of my way to listen to.
It's not the song of the summer.
It's not the song of the summer at all. Cool and Kill Me for Always have are if I had to pick favorites out of the singles, which it's like picking my favorite turd out of the punch bowl. Those
that one shaped kind of cool.
Yeah, those were the better ones. But the Waterpark song really, kind of fell flat for me. I think there's a lot more potential with that collab, especially considering
fucking Waterpark.
Yeah, how sought after 5 Seconds Summer and Waterpark's doing something together has been, and obviously it's not the full band, it's just Michael, but a collab like this has been so sought after and so highly requested that I think that there was a lot more there, although they did a lot of marketing together around it, which obviously feeds the fans. It's the collab that everybody wanted, so you got that in that scope of things, but the song itself falls a little flat for me. I kind of like Enough and Fashion. Those songs I think are somewhat solid. I think that the vibe that they have fits the like what the song is talking about, the tone of those songs. Everything kind of makes sense. I like Eclipse, the way it closes, and if I had a choice featuring Ryan Hall, it is decent as well, but there's really nothing on this record that stands out to me and is like, wow, this absolutely rocks. This rocks my world. Like I said, it's not what I was expecting from Michael. I was expecting a pop punk record because he was always the one that kind of embodied that within the band, even when the band was going a different direction. So he's always looked the part, even when the band was going the complete opposite direction.
He never changed. It's like all of them had their little pop punk era look with all the little hairs. He still has the flat hair. He was still doing it. But it's the most alt leaning of the ones we've gotten, so I'll give him that. Like I said, there are some songs out on the record that aren't terrible, but really this album in its entirety is not something I'm looking to come back to because it didn't hit the mark of what I was ultimately looking for. And really, even like remove my bias from it, these songs didn't leave an impact on me. That's where I'm at. That's why I'm saying it's not something I'm going to come back to, because what he's going for is something I would listen to if it was executed properly. It wasn't executed properly. It's like a poor impersonation of pop punk. But again, it's like he took inspiration from all the poopy tracks of pop punk. I'm sorry, I cut you off. It's just you keep talking, and I'm like, no, exactly.
No, but basically, just what I was saying is just if what he was going for, even if it's not pop punk, was executed properly, and the songs were across the board very solid, then I would still have been like, okay, this isn't what I wanted, but this album is really good. This isn't what I wanted, and this album also isn't really good. So that's where I'm at. Missed opportunity yet again. And it sucks to say that, because I said, when I opened this up, I was excited and optimistic for what this could have been. The singles were kind of a wild card, a little bit all over the place. Each song kind of did a slightly different thing, but what those songs showcased, the record didn't do.
No.
The other songs on the record further down past the 3 singles that were all front loaded on this goddamn thing, did a completely different separate thing, where it almost would have been okay if the first 3 songs were kind of the taster palette for the gambit that this album was going to cover. But yeah, overall, this isn't great. Eclipse is probably the best song on the record. Shout out to Closer.
Shout out to Closer. He did good. He did something on that one. But that's because a Closer is supposed to be slow.
He tied the album together very nicely.
Exactly. Like, it's like the entire record was Closers, you know? It's I was ready for it to be over. Maybe that's just what it was.
Yeah, well, it's a bummer, but you know, it is what it is. And if you're coming here from the Callum Hood review, where we said we were very excited and we think that Michael Clifford's going to knock it out of the park, you can tell us in the comments that we were wrong. It's okay.
Or you could tell us, like, wrong. Yeah, we're disappointed too, because I'm pretty sure there were a couple of people in that Callum video that were like, yeah, this was not what I wanted either. Yeah. So be disappointed with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's all complain. Yeah.
Point North dropped their new single, 2 Liter Spite.
Holy banger. Holy fuck. I just want to get my 2 cents in before this. So this was I let the playlist play after the Callum Hood record because I was like, I can't end my day like this. No. It was like 10 a.m.
Here sour.
Exactly. I'm just going to be fucking bitter in here. So I revisited a good chunk of the singles again. Holy shit. This is such a fun, heavy side of Point North. I'm not sure if they played this at Warped Tour because it was kind of like I was like away from the stage, but like I was watching them from afar, but it was like I could barely hear them, but I was like, oh, that's Point North, cool. So it was a little weird vibe. If they played it live, shit probably fucked. You know, I was getting fucked energy, you know, from the stage. I was like, damn, they're crushing that shit. Couldn't hear a goddamn thing though. Great song. I love this direction. It's so much fun. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, no, this song is dope. You know, I've been liking the band continuing to pivot into this heavier direction because they started out very pop punk, pop rock with the first record and the things that predated that first record. And then like the pop punk started to get heavier with the collection of singles that we got over the course of 2021 and early 2022, and then we started to go into the second album cycle and things started to get heavier from there, and I was like, oh god, yes, I love this band already. Now the band that I like is going to get heavy. This is exactly what I need. And then they just keep going heavier, and I love that. And now they're starting to get clumped in with this the metalcore community.
They're being welcomed in with open arms,
which I really appreciate. Like seeing them on that Falling in Reverse bill with all of those other bands that have existed in this scene for a lot longer than they have, while they've been making this pivot into this heavier genre is great, and I just love to see it. So this song absolutely rocks, and I'm excited to see what comes next because the singles are stacking, so you know what that means. Something's got to come, I hope.
Something's happening. Yeah. You know, Don BROCO dropped their new single Cellophane.
You didn't even have to read that shit.
No, I was waiting. So, okay. I love Don BROCO. Let me get this out of the way. Possibly their biggest supporter, not by money, I don't think, as I literally have never seen them live. Headliner. I've seen them for 30 minutes live.
Shit.
No. I saw them open for Pierce the Veil, and that's when my life changed. You know? I own a one shirt. One of them's bootleg, I'm pretty sure, but the other one is real off their site. I have a hoodie, so definitely not like I have the biggest collection. I was in Spotify said you are their top fan, like you are their most, you've listened to them the most out of everyone, and I said
Spotify goes, you are annoying.
You are. There's something going on in there, isn't there? You got a little something, right?
Have you considered therapy?
Have you anything medicine, therapy, just something? So let me say that. That gives me qualifications to say the things I'm going to say. No one else can say this shit because you're wrong and this is the best thing they've ever put out. If you say anything different, okay? This is not Don BROCO. Now, I say that because, as I said, a person who's literally listened to shit that isn't even on Spotify and knows the lyrics to that. Like, I know this band front to back. Like fucking toes to top of head, fucking ass to crack. I know this band, okay? And what I love so much about them is the ear candy that they put into their music. And a lot of the I don't know how else to describe it. It's just the oomph that they put in their music, the little sparkle, the little glitter that they put in it. And that is seen from their debut, official debut, Priorities to Amazing Things, which was their last full-length release, where it's just it always has some little sparkle in it, where it's like in Everybody off of Technology, it has like cowbells. It's like it's dancey, it's fun, it's Don Broco. It's a genre that you can never quite put your finger on, and that's why I like them so much because every time I talk about Don Broco to someone who's never heard of them, they're like, "What genre are they?" And I'm like,
Don Broco.
I couldn't fucking tell you. Genuinely. Like I looked it up and before the song was released, I looked it up and it was like pop punk, new metal, metal alternative, punk pop, and I was like, okay, so you're throwing fucking every genre out there because that's what they do. Don Broco's songs have never been just one genre, you know? They've done other things, but it's like there's always some flair in their music and something to kind of I'm getting so technical about it. It's just, do you understand what I'm saying? Am I being
I'm picking up what you're putting down. The band is always doing something different, and it's not from an album to album basis, it's a song to song basis, and
everything.
And it's even like minute to minute basis sometimes on some of the songs where they'll ping pong all over the place.
They just like Gum Shield. Yeah. It's like it's insane. So it's like Fingernails. It was Birthday Party, where it's like that song was so fucking weird, but it was still Don Broco. So Don Broco's thing has always been, what the fuck are you? Because this is incredible. I don't know, I can't put you in a box. I can put this song in a box. This sounds like, as I said, if anyone else fucking says this, you're wrong, and Don Broco can do no wrong, and Don Broco's not mainstream. This song is so mainstream. You know? It's good, and I've listened to it like a billion times already, you know? I love the song. I think it fucks. But it's not Don Broco. This is like it's like their impression of what's hot right now, which is so strange to hear from them because they've always been such a creative, unique band where this feels like maybe this was my friend's theory. This is possibly just like because they signed a massive deal. They're on Fearless now. Congratulations. That's insane. Huge for them. This could just be their safe record where they're just trying to make money. And that's cool. It's still Don Broco. Mass appeal. They're trying to pop off. They're trying to get big. Fuck, maybe this is their last hurrah record where it's like, fuck guys, if we don't like pop the fuck off, that's it. You know? So this might be their like, we have to appeal to as many people as possible. We have to get the radio play. We have to get the big slots, which I get it, and I would love to see that for them. But it's not spicy, you know? It's not sassy. Their shit's so sassy always, you know? Like Priorities, like the title track, such a sassy fucking song, and that's their debut.
Yeah.
But again, I think this song is so fun. It has Limp Bizkit influence, which I knew was going to happen eventually because a lot of Amazing Things had it. They referenced it a lot. This one is so Limp Bizkit-y. It's just like the fucking call out that they have where it's like, chitty chitty bang, I'm about to blow. It's some shit like that. It's so fun. Yeah. So it's still like some of the lyrics still have the Don Broco flair, but it's just the instrumentals themselves are not Don Broco. Oh, I was very excited for this. I'm still very hype about it. I still think this is gonna fuck. I know they've wanted to do heavy shit for a long time. You got it. You got the heavy song. Check the box. Please go back. Thank you.
All right. Well,
but also I love the growth. I'm conflicted. I'm like really.
I can tell you're conflicted. I listened to the song before Glory did, and she texted me, and she was like, "So what you think? What you think? What you think? What you think?
Tell me. Describe everything.
Describe it to describe the sounds to me in words." And I'm like, "No, I only do that on the podcast on Monday nights at 7 p.m.
And it's Tuesday at 2. So I don't know what to tell you.
And I was like, I literally texted her. And I go, "It's aight." And she's
Can
like,
you imagine?
She's like, you're talking about the best band in the world. And
the best band.
But exactly everything that you just said is exactly why I feel it's just because
and I get it now.
It's not what I expected. Like when I heard it the first time, I listened to it on the godforsaken phone speakers, and I was like, maybe I'm missing something. So I jam it here. Mm-hmm. I'm not missing anything. They're missing something. There's something missing in the song.
Their little, the
little flavor that makes them Don BROCO. And yeah, that's where I'm at. Like I don't think the song's bad by any stretch. No. And you know, obviously big record deal, you know, come out with a bang in terms of mass appeal and things like that is not uncommon in any stretch of the word. Whether you're signing a big record deal or not, it's not uncommon at this level and higher to come out with a bang, or at least some point in your single rollout. You know, go for that mass appeal kind of track. There's nothing wrong with that, and I think they execute what they went for pretty well. But it's not what I expect to hear normally from Don BROCO, and was kind of some initial shock hearing it for the first time. But yeah, like I said, song's all right. I don't think it's bad by any stretch. What they went for is solid, but this is an interesting turn of events.
I just want to ask questions. You know, I'm just so curious on this. It's like, because it's good. See, here it is. Any band big in like metalcore right now could pull this song off. Not every band ever. No other band can pull off their past shit. You know, that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I completely agree with that. Yeah. DED dropped their new single Eraser and have announced their upcoming album coming out in September, which I'm very excited about. Big fan of DED over here. And, you know, have felt some type of way about these singles thus far. But this song has been on repeat for me and has made me very excited for this upcoming album, because in my opinion, they still got it. Past couple of singles, although they have grown on me. They were initially out of left field because the band has largely went for a sound that's very similar to this kind of song across their last couple of records. And the first couple of singles were very out there and weird, and relied heavily on production elements that we haven't seen from the band yet. And this is a little bit more of like what you get from DED. So I'm like, all right, we've at least got one song like that. I don't know what the rest of the record's going to sound like. I hope to find out soon. But this song is really solid. I'm excited for the album coming out in September.
Damn straight. I thought this song fucked. I have kind of, it's only really when you put them on the playlist is kind of when I tune into DED. But this song so far is my favorite thing that I've heard from them. I'm very excited to see what else they have planned, to see what else that record has in store. But yeah, no, I thought this fucked. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. From Ashes to New, dropped the new single, New Disease. I wasn't the biggest fan of this. I think it's fine, but, and I feel like this is gonna come off so mean. I'm sorry. It's a little corny. There's some parts that feel corny, and I think every band, I give every band a pass, especially fucking Motionless in White. Their brand is, you know, Ice Nine Kills, corny all around.
Some of these bands, their brand is corny.
Exactly. So it's like, and I give bands, except, you know, Motionless in White, they can surpass the corny amount. That's fine, because that's them. They're grandfathered into it. That doesn't apply to them. Other bands, there's like a corny limit that I give you. You could do like one or two things, you know, where I'm like, it breached the limit for me. It surpassed it. And it made it a little hard to listen to, because I don't think that came out as intended, you know? Like, I think it missed the mark. Thought it was fine. But as I said, there were just some parts that were just corny to me.
Yeah, I thought the song was okay. You know, I always dig kind of what From Ashes to New does, and I know they're an incredible live band. But you know, this song is kind of what I expected. A new From Ashes to New song to sound like a new era. Just, you know, the last record did so much for them and moved the needle so much that I kind of just expected an extension of that album, and that's kind of what we got with this first single. It's very much in that same vein, which is fine. There were plenty of cuts off that record that are really solid. There are some that are not as solid, and kind of feel samey to other songs on the album. And this song is just largely in part fine, all right. Didn't blow my socks off, but I absolutely going to tune in for the rest of whatever's coming, presumably an album of some sort. They've got a headlining tour later on this year. Because not to pull out the line in the context of the record, but hearing this song and the rest of the singles kind of all in a collection could sell it a little bit more versus the singles, because this band doesn't always sell it for me in the singles game. It does become an album, and even with the album like Panic, I wasn't sold on that right away. It took several listens for me to be sold on. And I even told the fucking band that. So it is what it is. Remaining cautiously optimistic for this one, as always. I'm not writing this off until I hear the full thing, or even just several more singles. But like I said, they're not always a single band for me, so we'll see. I'm sure that this song and this album cycle are going to do massive things for them. I'm expecting to hear this all over Octane, and probably now.
Jesus, yeah. All right.
Ryan Oakes dropped his new single, Dem Shoes. I'm not sold on this one. This one is really out of left field, and I know that's what he's going for. I just don't really care for this one.
My thing is, it's not out of left field, and it feels like it all reads the same. The last couple singles, it just feels like he's stuck in a box of kind of the same beats, the same flow, the same tone, and it's not working for me.
Yeah.
It's not. It just feels very repetitive, and I feel like he has the ability to be a really great artist. I just need him to kind of work out of this. This
little cycle here that we've been in
for like a while. Yeah, which is fine. That's fine. Have Mercy dropped the new single, TV Glows. God damn it, Have Mercy. You're such a beautiful band. I love you. I love this band
You're
so
goddamn
much.
right.
You guys make me so sad, but I get so excited to listen to your music and just the cycle. It's incredible. I love you so much.
It hurts so much, but it feels so good the way it hurts. That's basically
it doesn't
how.
Even. I feel awful.
That's basically how to surmise this band. Mm-hmm. I think this song is solid, as with most things that Have Mercy does, and I'm very excited to hear this full record here in a couple of weeks. And yeah, it hurts so bad. And sometimes it doesn't feel good, sometimes it does, but it can always for sure hurt.
Yeah,
hurt so bad.
It's guaranteed always.
It's guaranteed when you're listening to Have Mercy.
It's the Have Mercy guarantee.
Yes. They should put that on a shirt. Loveless dropped his new single, Phantom of You.
I love you, Loveless. This song fucked. I really enjoyed this, and I'm so happy he's back because I feel like his vocals are too good to be just discarded.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed this. I feel like it's a step up. I mean, it feels like he's just picking up where he left off, which is really nice. Just sound-wise. I just a little more mature. It's a step up, but still, I could still group it in and still say, yeah, this is Loveless. It's not like, he picked up folk or something,
Mm-hmm.
So really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I actually ran this one back a second time because I really do think that this song is solid. Julian's songwriting ability has always been a step above the rest, and this song I think is the perfect kind of showing of that, considering it is not super front loaded with instrumentals. It's very bare bones, so you really get to hear the songwriting on here, the lyric writing, and it really just shines through. He's such a phenomenal lyric writer and storyteller. And this song is just awesome.
Damn straight. Yeah. Caskets dropped their new single, The Only Heaven You'll Know. This is good. It feels a bit, fuck, I always forget the radio. What is it called?
Octane.
Feels a little Octane core. But honestly, like this is my type of octane core where it's like the build up and it's like the like anthemic, you can hear this shit in the crowd. I fuck with it. I need more of this. I like it a lot. I'm not using it in a derogatory way. The only time I use octane in a derogatory way is when I say it with like a like a little face.
Yeah,
Like a little snarl. Like, yeah, no, this sounds like fucking octane. It sounds like octane.
Yeah.
And I'm digging it. Heavy. I think it's fun. I think the chorus fucks. I love it, really. It has the little sparkle in it. Fucks.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of sound is exactly what I expected from this band going into a new album cycle. It's what we got with the previous record. I just saw them live recently. That's what the entire set list sounded like. Like, they go for the typical formula, and there's nothing wrong with that, because if you execute it well, the songs are still good, even if it's in a formula in a certain way. And this song is no exception. It's the first single off of their upcoming record, and it absolutely fucking rips. Album drops later this year. Very excited for that.
Hell yeah.
Motion City Soundtrack dropped their new single, You Know Who the Fuck We Are, and You're Goddamn Right We Do. And the singles that we've gotten thus far off this upcoming record are just feeling like a return to form for the band. They've been away for a hot minute in terms of studio. They came back a few years prior, but they've been away for a hot minute in terms of new studio stuff, and they're picking right back up where they left off. This stuff has been incredible, and I'm very excited to hear this full album.
Damn straight. I love this track a lot. Motion City Soundtrack is a band that I've been meaning to get into, just because I saw them live at Warped Tour, and you just can't be mad at that. There's no part of it that you could just go,
Motion City Soundtrack and Warped Tour just go hand in hand.
You really do. Yeah. God. So I really enjoyed this a lot. It's fun. It's good. Hell yeah.
Yeah. They even drew the biggest crowd outside of like the main stage bands at Adjacent Fest. There were so many people surrounding this little side stage that they were playing, because there were only three stages. And I can't believe how many people are here, because there was a band obviously on the main stage, and I don't even know if anybody, I don't know who was on or if anybody was watching that shit. Because it felt like the entire festival was watching Motion City Soundtrack.
They should have been on main stage.
They're just the epitome of like that genre that festival encapsulated, and like obviously
they're the face of it.
And obviously Warped Tour encapsulates that as well.
Damn straight. Hatebreed dropped their new single, Make the Demons Obey.
This is honestly one of the better Hatebreed songs I've heard. I haven't heard a ton, but I know we covered that last record, and I was like, yeah, I didn't like this. But I actually did like this. I think it's really solid. And I'm excited to see wherever this is going to go for Hatebreed.
Yeah, I thought this was fine. Yeah. I'm not mad at it at all. I mean, it's it's that sound. I think it's grimy. I think it's rock. I think it's heavy. Fucks. Yeah. Thrice dropped a new single, Nash. And this is really solid. We covered the last Thrice album, and they're not a band that I think Glory or myself would go out of our ways to listen to at all, but I really appreciate this genre of music, and the songwriting that comes alongside of it, and this band is one of the top of the game, of the genre, genre, and I think that this song is really solid. Comes off the back of their upcoming record dropping later this year, and I'm stoked, man. Hell yeah. I thought this was fine. I thought it was a little fun, just not typically what I would go for. But again, I was not mad at listening to it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Thrice, I didn't know you moved like that. Yeah. So, Signs of the Swarm dropped their new single, To Rid Myself of Truth.
Title track off their upcoming album dropping here in August. And, this track is just them going for it. Yeah. This is very To the Hellfire, Lorna Shore coded, and yes. I am here for it because I know that this band has catapulted off the back of their last record and these singles off this most recent album or the upcoming album. have been working wonders for them as well. And the standalone single they put out was one of their fastest streaming songs to date. And all of the numbers are accumulating here, and the band is growing, which is again so fucking crazy to me to see these insanely heavy death metal and deathcore bands like really just blow up and excel, because it's been such an underground genre for so long. But obviously these bands deserve it. They grind so fucking hard. This is them just going for it. This is and they, I think they succeeded. That'll be up to the opinions of the powers that be, which is the internet. But me personally, I think they succeeded at it, and I hope that this gets to the right ears and people are blown away by this.
Damn straight. No, this shit was heavy as fuck. And I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's not my genre, but goddamn, I can give credit where credit is due. That shit, it's crazy. Yeah.
Between the Buried and Me dropped their new single Absent thereafter. They put out a single that's longer than some EPs we cover on this podcast, clocking in at about 11 minutes. I think we've gotten 22 minutes off of their upcoming album thus far. I know that this band, they're the prog genre, the songs are on the longer side, so I'm just trying to be a bit of an asshole and make a joke out of it, because it is so fucking long and not typically a genre we cover. But I know that this is not uncommon in that world. So with that out of the way, this song obviously is very dynamic, covers like 4 or 5 different genres across the board, and it kept my attention. So yes, I saw the fucking fact that this song was almost 11 minutes long. I was like, oh my fucking god. Like, I looked at how much time I had left on my GPS driving home last night. I was like, this is going to clear half of that easily. Like my goal with this drive was to try to get through the playlist, and I'm going to get through one song. But it kept my attention the entire time. I wasn't looking at it being like, holy fuck, when is this going to be over? Because it is so dynamic and does so many different things. And they absolutely go about this in the right way. And this song is really solid.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about prog, where it's just like you look at the time always and you're like, God damn, you're going to take 10 minutes away from me. And then you look up and you're like, wow, let's do it again, because that was fucking awesome. I love prog. It's a genre that I really need to get into, but I think it's best for the sanity of my friends and my family that maybe I don't. And I just have it in little drips and drops. So I'm not like, guys, you got to sit down and listen to this song with me. And I sit them down for 15 minutes, So I like this. I love it even. Great track. Good job.
Hell yeah.
Silent Planet dropped a new single, Wick. I have nothing to say. I love this band so much. As I go and I say 30 minutes worth of shit. This was like Don BROCO level for me of excitement. Maybe like 3 notches down. Silent Planet is one of my favorite bands, top 5 bands of all time. I think they're absolutely wonderful. And this song did everything it needed to do. They're Silent Planet. It's political. It's heavy as shit. It's fun to listen to. I can see this shit live. I want to see it live. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Yeah. But I love this band so much, and this song is fucking insane. John Wick. It's not probably John Wick, but I'm saying this is a John Wick. This is John.
That's the same thing I thought when I saw the title. But
John Wick, right?
Yeah, obviously we're a little bit past the change in the genre that this band has had over the last record and now these past couple of singles. But I continue to appreciate every time that we get new Silent Planet. This song is fucking awesome, and this band just continues to rise, which is so great to see. This song is no exception. I hope that this gets on the ears of the right people, quote unquote. And yeah, this blew me away. They just continue to level up, which is great to see.
One of the best bands ever, like, no baby or anything,
In Her Own Words dropped a new single, Love Me Not, and I thought that this was really solid. I feel like In Her Own Words is a band that has been steadily progressing in terms of the quality. Not to say that anything that we've heard thus far has been bad by any stretch, but these recent singles and the EP that we got earlier last year have all been really, really, really solid, and I've been digging. And I like this song a lot.
Damn straight. This song's an ass shaker. I mean, it's fun. It's fun to listen to. I really have no other complaints.
Agreed.
Hell yeah. 3 Days Grace dropped their new single, Kill Me Fast. This shit just hit like a very nostalgic note for me. It made me feel like I was a kid again. It was really weird.
2000s hard rock.
It was incredible. And it wasn't like, because hard rock sometimes transitions into dad rock sometimes, it didn't do that. It was like, fuck, this is what it felt like in the early 2000s. This is awesome. Put me back. I was not even I wasn't even a thought, 2004 gang, shout out. But no, this was great. I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah. This song was really solid. It's got me excited again for the album rollout because none of the songs have been bad.
Yeah.
Some have been way better than others, and anything is a step up from this last album that I keep bringing up. That the singles were such standouts, and then the rest of, and I know really only a couple of them, and then the rest of the record was just abysmal, just abysmal. So there were some singles that we've gotten off this record that had me less excited than others, but across the board I've been way more excited for this upcoming album. And this kind of reignited that excitement I had because we're about a month out from the album, so we're getting very close, and this was kind of a perfect single in my opinion to put out a month ahead of time roughly. And if we get another one, we get another one, but this is the last one. Consider me stoked. Album comes out next month.
I'm in, I'm ready. Hell yeah.
I'm strapped in. MGK drops his new single, Miss Sunshine. Still can't believe the missed opportunity to have Cliche be the song of the summer. Instead, I think it's Man Child.
There's still time, guys. There's still time.
I think it's Man Child, and that song shouldn't be the song of the summer. I am sorry. It's perfectly fine. It's catchy, but it should not be the song of the summer.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you what it sounds like. I don't think I've heard it yet.
I've just heard the clip on TikTok. I don't think there's really a song of the summer. This song. That's what I was thinking while I was listening to this song, because it was
maybe
like
Nokia Drake, but again, I didn't really know it until I was shown it. So
yeah, neither did I. My girlfriend showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh, I've heard this clip on TikTok, but I didn't know the name. I didn't know the name of it.
I didn't know that this was like an actual song.
Yeah.
Make it Cliche, guys. We still got like a month.
We got time. It should be Cliche, but it's not really feeling like there's a song of the summer this summer. No, and that's what I was thinking about while I was listening to this song. So that's hence why it's in this portion of the review. I think that the song's good. I like this pivot that MGK's made with this upcoming album that comes out very, very soon. I'm excited to hear the full album, honestly, because Cliche kind of set the bar for me, and this has been surprisingly solid so far.
Unfortunately, I have enjoyed every single that he's dropped for this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hate the record just for fun. I'm gonna shit on it.
It's gonna be so tragic when we're like, oh my fucking god, this album rips.
This is good.
Yeah,
it won't be on my. Just moral wise, like this will not be on my album of the year list. I'm telling you right now. 303 dropped their new single, Slushy.
I just can't get it out of my head what they look like now while they're singing this song, if I'm being honest with you.
I was thinking the exact same, like, these are grown-ass men, I always imagined them to be, like, like early 20s,
yeah. Well, they were.
At a point, when
they were doing this music. This is a band, personally, that, listen, I appreciate the fact that they are sticking with it, man, and doing the same thing that they've done, and they are not changing that.
It's okay to evolve.
I think that that's dope. What I don't think is dope is that I look at them and I'm like, oh my god, they're not just performing the songs that were big for them, they're still doing that same thing 20 years later. It's kind of like the Blink-182 effect.
Only Blink is like so silly, they're just boys.
Yeah, this is a band for me where, like, listen, I love those massive fucking songs that they had in the early 2000s. Like, goddamn, and I would kill to hear those live. But they're a band that I think should just stick to cashing in, which is fine. Do the festival circuit, do a tour every once in a while, and cash in on the nostalgia, or just stop, because like this song isn't this song's not great. And again, I could not get out of my head that these are grown ass men singing about this shit. That was probably the worst part.
Yeah, it's tough. It ruins the vibe, you know?
Because I had like just seen a TikTok of them walking onto the stage at Warped Tour like the day before I listened to the song. I saw
them at Warped Tour, and my friend and I both went, "That's their 3?" We both went, "Oh, okay." Like it was just like that's who's making those noises?
No. Okay. Don't trust
like anyways
Greyhaven dropped their new single Burn a Miracle off their upcoming album dropping in October, announced a headlining tour for that album today. I am very fucking excited for this. I've really dug everything that Greyhaven has done up until this point, that we've covered at least, and this is no exception. This song absolutely rips, and I am very excited to hear this album here in October.
Damn straight. I've been getting into Greyhaven. My best friend is very into them, so every time I visit her, it's Greyhaven finds their way on. I love their little breakdowns. They always have such like sass and like just a little oomph to them. I fucking love them. They have their sound already, which is so fun. This is like a band that is meant to be big. Very excited for them. I think they're incredible.
Yeah.
The song fucked. Bless the Fall and Story of the Year dropped their new single, Fell So Hard, Felt So Right. Hell yeah. I like this a lot.
I did too. An interesting collab, but Story of the Year has always kind of teetered a little bit on the heavier side of the pop punk scale. So it wasn't like the weirdest thing I've ever seen, but the two names together initially gave a little bit of, whoa, what the fuck? And then I took 2 seconds to think about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, that kind of makes sense. That actually makes a little bit of sense. The band has kind of lived on the heavier side of the genre they're in, which is fine. This song's really good. Comes off of Bless the Fall's upcoming record, dropping here in a couple of months, and I am very excited. It's been a long time since we've gotten a new Bless the Fall album, and this album cycle has been a long time coming, so I'm excited to finally have it in my hands.
Damn straight.
And for our last topic, Woe Is Me dropped the new single The Closer, which is a total vibe 180 shift from what we have been getting from Woe Is Me previously, with all of the singles that have came out, but I think they execute it very well.
Yeah, damn straight. I love Woe Is Me. I think they're an incredible band. Welcome back, as per usual. I mean, we've been saying that for like a year, right? 2 years, maybe?
2 years at least.
I'm just happy they're back, you know?
Welcome back as always.
Welcome back as always. I thought this song fucked. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Well, those are all the topics we have today. You can follow us on Instagram, it's Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. YouTube is Good Noise Podcast. All the audio stream services are Good Noise Podcast. And Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Please got your Patreon subs, your important plugs, and your Mercer plug. And then we're going to sign off. Oh, and the Amazon storefront plug.
Amazon storefront plug. Check out our Amazon. It has all of our equipment. Go check it out if you want to start a podcast and talk about shit.
talk about anything.
Go for it. If you want podcast merch, Good Noise Podcast merch, check out our merch. It is, I've said it like every day for the past year. I still have to look at the link. goodnoisepodcast.creator-spring.com. Check it out. We have a bunch of shit. Go look at it. Maybe you'll find something you like.
Maybe.
It'd be cool. Thank you to our Patreon supporters, Matt from Pulse's Pop Punk Apologist, Infamous D-Bub, Tyson from Heal the Hurt, and Eric, and our Twitch sub, Matt, again from Pulses. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Important plugs: Black Lives Matter, Free Palestine, fuck ICE, be a decent person, support small bands, support big bands, and listen to the new Don BROCO song.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Well, that's all we have today. I have been Shane.
I have been Glory.
And we've been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.